Hi, my name is Festa, and today I'm going to teach you how to use blogging to grow your business. I actually started my journey into blogging as a travel blogger. I run a solo female travel blog called Jessie on a Journey that I monetize mainly through ads, affiliate marketing, working with brands, and creating products. I also have a tour company called NYC Photo Journeys that I've mainly grown and monetized through blogging. Through blogging, I've created a six-figure business for myself, and today I'm going to be sharing some tips to help you do the same. So to kick things off, let's actually talk about what a blog is. A blog is a section of your website where you consistently create new content that answers questions that your ideal audience has. What is so great about this is it gives you the chance to get in front of people who may not even know your business exists. Now we need to talk about how to come up with a content plan that grows your business. To do this, you'll start with a mission statement. You may already have this, but if you don't, I really love the simple template, I help blank group of people do how you help. Once you have your mission statement, you want to break it up into about 3 to 5 content pillars. Let's look at Masterclass as an example, and we will come back to this screenshot in a bit. But Masterclass is a platform that offers courses on a variety of topics. Well, their content plan is going to align with their course topics, things like photography and music and becoming a better chef. Once you've come up with your content pillars, you want to consider what questions your audience has around these content pillars. The goal here is to position yourself as an expert and your business as a solution to your audience's needs. So let's look at this screenshot again. I typed into Google how to take night sky photos. And, a bunch of results come up. For example, this guide to Masterclass, where they are answering the question, and then they're going to position their photography courses as a logical next step for, taking these amazing night sky photos. On the other hand, we've got Nikon, who wrote a guide on photographing the night sky. They're answering the question being asked, but they're going to position their products, their lenses, their cameras, their tripods as necessary essentials to taking amazing night sky photos. So 2 different businesses answering the same questions that their audience has, and then positioning their unique businesses as solutions. Building on answering questions, the best way to come up with questions to answer is through keyword research. By doing keyword research, you're going to be able to see exactly what people are typing into Google so that you know what content topics they want covered, what problems they need help with. Now, keyword research is part of a larger strategy called search engine optimization, or SEO, which involves optimizing your website and your blog posts to rank higher in organic search and organic Google search. I highly recommend digging into it, really mastering it, because understanding SEO and successfully implementing it is what is going to help you actually get seen in search results. That being said, I do want to, dip our toes into it a bit today and talk about keyword research. We're going to go over 2 keyword research strategies, and I'm going to show you how to do this in my keyword research tool of choice, Keysearch. So here we are in Keysearch. The first keyword research strategy I'm going to show you is starting with an idea. So let's say you want to write a post having to do with New York City restaurants of some kind. You can click search. And what we see is a few things. It's going to be very hard to rank for. So Keysearch gives a score. The higher the number, typically, the more difficult that keyword will be to rank for. Now we can also see the first page results for this keyword, and we see it's all really high authority sites. This column means domain authority, DA, and your DA is a predictive measurement created by Moz that looks at how likely your site is to rank in Google search results. Now, that's just a little bit of, insight. It doesn't paint the whole picture, because here's the thing. The more you write about a topic, typically the easier it is to rank for. And typically you'll even be able to outrank bigger sites with higher domain authorities that don't cover that topic exclusively. So keep that in mind. And there are other things you can do to improve the SEO of a blog post. But anyway, you can get a sense of, okay, this is going to be tricky for me to rank for. Let me find some easier keywords that are related to this query that I'm after. Well, you can go to filter, and let's say, we'll say the high score of 35. You don't actually have to put 0 here, but we just will for the visual. Filter. And now I can see some easier keywords here. A quick tip that we'll kind of talk about as we go on is you also will want to source supporting keywords. So a neat thing that you're also able to do is see, even just getting out of this filter here and going back to NYC restaurants, you can see different keywords that people are actually searching in Google that are related to the keyword that you're trying to find. We'll talk more about supporting keywords in a bit. Now, the other thing you can do is go to competitive analysis, organic keywords. If you're using another tool, they will still have this section. Most likely it might be called something different, but you're basically doing a competitor analysis to see what keywords your competitors rank for that you might not. So I'll use my own website as an example, and you'll leave entire domain on there. And what I like to do is toggle for volume and position. So I want to see which keywords are getting competitors top results in Google. If it's position, 40, that means they're buried in the search results. But for example, a story of travel, worst time to travel to Bali. These are popular keywords that people really want to know about that in this example, we're pretending I'm my own competitor. Your competitor ranks for, and you can say, hey, I don't have an article on the worst time to travel to Bali. Let me do some keyword research on that and create a piece of content on that to attract my ideal audience and get my business out there. Once you have your main keyword, there are a few things you need to do. First of all, you want to check the search intent of that keyword. So what you'll do is type the keyword into Google and look at what is ranking for it. Do those top queries answer the same question that you are setting out to answer in your blog post? If the answer is yes, then you are on the right track. You also want to optimize your blog article for the main keyword by including it in your blog post title, in the blog post meta title and meta description, as well as the blog post slug or the URL. You could see in the screenshot right here an example of the SEO title, slug, and meta description. You can use a free plugin like Yoast, shown here, or Rank Math to be able to include these things and edit them. You also want to include your main keyword in subheadings within the blog post, as well as in the content itself, like in the paragraphs. Also, when you upload images to the blog post, you want to make sure that A, you've renamed the images to be descriptive. So instead of dsc1234.jpg, you would name it something like empire-state-building-nyc.jpg, if the image was of the Empire State Building. Once the image is uploaded, you also want to include alt text, which should describe the image, but if you can, try to get the keyword in a few of those as well. Alt text is what e-readers read. If someone's using an e-reader to read your blog post, when they get to the image, the alt text will be read. And finally, you also want to source supporting keywords to include in your blog post. You don't just want your main keyword to be bringing you traffic. You want many different keywords to be bringing you traffic so that you can get more eyes on your business and more traffic to your website. An example of supporting keywords would be, if I'm writing a blog post on things to do in Times Square, I would also want to rank for Times Square activities or attractions in Times Square. Now, when writing a blog post, your goal is to create the best piece of content that exists on the topic. So what you want to do is look at what is ranking for your main keyword and think about what questions and sections they address in their blog posts. You want to also address those. It's not about copying, it's not about plagiarism, it's just making sure that you are answering all of the related questions associated with that query. So you're really creating something in depth that is a one-stop shop. When people type a query into Google, they don't need to click to your post and then click elsewhere and then click elsewhere. You've really answered the question fully for them. You also want to think about how you can make your blog post better, as in clearer, actionable, or more engaging. For example, I wrote a blog post on hiking in Manhattan. that ranked on the first page of Google and then quickly got pushed to the second page. When I looked at what the other top results for this query included, they just were a lot more in depth with, maps and directions and things like that. So I edited my post, I added trail maps, I added Google Map images, I added specific step-by-step directions to the trails. I then resubmitted the post to Google, and pretty soon it was back on the first page. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this workshop is including calls to action for your business in your blog posts. So let's look at some examples. Here are some screenshots from my NYC Photo Journeys business. The blog post is about fun date ideas in NYC. You can see the top entry is book an NYC photo tour for 2, where I talk about my own photo tours. Additionally, throughout the post, I'll have these yellow box call to actions where I'm reminding people about our products and services. Here we have an example from Masterclass, that night sky photography post we looked at before. There's a call to action with that gray box where they're saying, meet one of your new instructors. There's Annie Leibowitz, who's going to teach one of their amazing photography courses. And then at the bottom, it says, want to learn more about photography? Become a better photographer with the Masterclass annual membership. Gain access to exclusive video lessons taught by photography masters, including Jimmy Chin, Annie Leibowitz, and more. All right, now I hope you enjoyed this workshop. If you have any questions about blogging, feel free to email me at jessie@jessieonajourney.com. And if you'd like to connect with me on Instagram or really any of the socials, my handle is jessie@jessieonajourney.